Modern surfing depends on three small fins under a surfboard. Without them, surfers could barely control direction on a wave. Those fins quietly determine how a board grips the water, how sharply it turns, and how fast it accelerates down the face. Yet for most of surfing history, boards had no fins at all. Early Hawaiian surfboards, used through the early 20th century, were long wooden planks with completely flat bottoms. Traditional boards such as Alea and Olo relied entirely on rail control, weight shifts, and body positioning to steer across a wave. Surfers adjusted direction by leaning their weight and dragging the rail of the board through the water to create resistance. The system worked surprisingly well on clean rolling waves, but it also created clear limitations. Turning was slow, and boards often slid sideways when waves became steeper or faster. As surfing began spreading beyond Hawaii during the early 20th century, these limitations became more obvious. Surfers wanted greater control and stability, especially as boards gradually became lighter and waves grew more powerful. The first major breakthrough came in 1935 when innovative Californian surfer and inventor Tom Blake attached a small wooden fin to the tail of his surfboard. Blake had already transformed surfboard design by building hollow boards that were dramatically lighter than traditional solid redwood planks. While experimenting with these boards, he realized something important. A vertical surface under the tail could act like the keel of a boat, preventing the board from sliding sideways across the wave face. The wooden fin added stability and allowed surfers to hold a line across the wave with far greater control. The improvement was so obvious that fins quickly became standard equipment. Through the 1940s and the 1950s, nearly every surfboard carried a single large fin mounted at the tail. These single fins were often tall and swept back, providing smooth control that suited the longboards dominating surfing at the time. Surfers trimmed gracefully along the wave face, drawing long flowing lines while walking up and down the deck. This smooth style defined the golden era of longboard surfing. But everything began changing during the late 1960s, when the shortboard revolution dramatically reduced board length. As boards shrank, surfers began pushing harder against the wave face, driving through sharper turns and steeper sections. The large single fin that worked perfectly on longboards sometimes struggled to keep up with these faster movements. Boards could feel stiff during quick turns or lose their hold during aggressive maneuvers. Designers began experimenting with alternative fin setups to improve speed and maneuverability. One of the earliest successful ideas was the twin fin, which used two smaller fins placed closer to the rails, instead of one large central fin. Spreading the surface area across two fins created more drive and loosened the board during turns. Twin fins became particularly popular during the 1970s and were famously ridden by Australian surfer Mark Richards. Richards used twin fin boards to win 4 consecutive world championships between 1979 and 1982. His boards accelerated quickly and allowed tight, fast turns that looked radically different from traditional single-fin surfing. Yet twin fins introduced a new challenge. Without a stabilizing center fin, boards could sometimes feel loose during powerful turns or at higher speeds. Surfers wanted something that balanced the speed of twin fins with the control of a single fin. That solution appeared in 1981 when Australian surfer and shaper Simon Anderson introduced the 3-fin configuration now known as the thruster. Anderson placed 2 fins near the rails and added a smaller stabilizing fin in the center. The combination created a balance between speed, control, and stability that surfers had never experienced before. Boards could accelerate quickly while still holding firmly through powerful turns. Anderson proved the effectiveness of the design by riding a thruster to major competitive victories in both Australia and Hawaii. Within only a few years, the thruster spread across the surfing world and quickly became the dominant surfboard setup. Nearly every professional surfer adopted the design, as it allowed harder turns, steeper lines, and far more aggressive maneuvers on the wave face. Through the 1980s and the 1990s, the thruster became the foundation of modern high-performance surfing. Even today, most shortboards still use this 3-fin layout. Materials and technology have continued evolving, with carbon fiber fins, honeycomb cores, and removable systems that allow surfers to adjust flex, size, and placement depending on conditions. But the basic concept introduced by Simon Anderson remains unchanged. Looking back, the evolution of surfboard fins quietly reshaped surfing itself. Tom Blake's first fin allowed surfers to control direction across the wave face. Twin fins unlocked new speed during the shortboard revolution. The thruster balanced speed and control, allowing modern surfing to become faster, more vertical, and dramatically more radical. The waves never changed. The ocean never changed. But by adding a few small fins under a surfboard, surfers completely transformed what was possible on a moving wall of water.